Do you give everyone your best, but somehow accept the least for yourself? Maybe everyone around you thinks you have it all together. You're successful, you're strong, you're dependable. You're the one that everybody leans on. But somewhere along the way, you quit expecting the best for yourself. So you've accepted far less than what you deserve in your relationships, or maybe on your job. Or maybe you've been neglecting your health while you're taking care of everyone else. If any of this sounds familiar, then I want you to stay with me because I'm going to challenge some of the advice maybe that you have gotten about self-worth. We've been taught to know our worth. But what if knowing your worth is only half the battle? What if knowing your worth is not enough to change your life? Because everything changed for me when I learned the difference between two words that sometimes people use interchangeably. And once you know the difference, you will never look at your life or your future the same way again. Welcome back. I am Dr. Monique, and on this channel, we talk about self-love, we talk about confidence, reinvention, and how you can become the happiest, best version of yourself. So if that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. Today is not just a motivational talk. Today, I'm going to share some things with you that I wish that someone had taught me decades ago. It would have saved me so many years of settling for less than what I deserve. Let me tell you a little bit about my personal life. There was a time when I really struggled with knowing my worth. I appeared successful on the outside. I went to school. I had a family. I had a career. But deep down, I knew that I was settling for less than what I deserved. Someone very close to me asked me a very important question. He asked me why I tolerated certain behaviors in relationships and why I chose to stay in toxic environments. That question haunted me. Eventually, I went to therapy because I needed help answering that question. Why was I settling for less than I deserve? I didn't need to know why anybody was treating me any kind of way. It was not about them, it was about me. If I go into different environments and people are crossing boundaries and I'm allowing it, then that is on me, right? Because I am the common denominator. The problem wasn't that I lacked ability, that I lacked intelligence, that I lacked opportunity. The problem was I didn't really understand my worth or my value. And just knowing that changed everything. So here's the idea that I want you to remember even after this video ends. Even though people confuse the words worth and value, they are not the same. Your worth is something that you are born with. It is God-given. You are worthy because God created you. You are a unique individual. You have gifts, you have talents. So your worth does not increase or decrease based on what's going on in your life. And it also doesn't go up or down based on how other people treat you. So let me give you a quick example. I have a $50 bill here. This $50 can buy $50 worth of product, whether it's nice and pressed and straightened out or whether it's all crinkled up. The value does not diminish based on the way that it's treated. The same way that God created you with your worth and your value, and it does not diminish based on the things you've had to experience in your past. And that was something that I truly had to come to terms with. That I am unique, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that I was created and I was designed for a purpose. Just as you were. We are worthy of love. We are worthy of respect. We are worthy of dignity. Just because we are humans, because God made us. And it's so important that you know this. You are worthy now. However, value is a little bit different. Value grows, value is developed. You can increase your leadership skills, your confidence, your discipline can be stronger. You can improve technical skills. You can go to school. So, when we talk about being the best version of yourself, there are certain things that you can do that can continually increase your value. Why do you think a successful, capable, hardworking person would settle for less than what they deserve? I believe that oftentimes we will lower our standards based on our experiences. Trauma can teach you that you're not enough. So if you experience trauma or you see all kind of traumatic things going on in your life, then you might say, I'm just thankful for what I have. I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful that I even have a relationship. And then because you experience maybe emotional, verbal, physical abuse, when you're in these other relationships, it seems normal or is not as bad as previous things you experienced, or is not as bad as you have seen other people having it. And when we look around, often we don't even see people striving to live up to their potential. They live according to what they believe about themselves. So if deep down we believe at least he's not physically abusive, you're tolerating all other kind of nonsense, but you're just happy because you're not experiencing some of the things that you saw in your past. Or you think, I will never lose this weight. I'm not disciplined. Nobody in my family is healthy. It just is what it is. And if you think like that, you stop taking care of yourself before you even start. We have to change the way we think. We have to change our mindset. Our lives tend to rise or fall to the level of our beliefs, not to the level of our dreams or our goals or to our potential. That's why changing your life will always begin with changing your identity, how you see yourself, because you will never outperform the way you see yourself. So for years, I didn't realize that the decisions I was making was because of things that I have experienced in my past. I had to come to really understand my worth and my value. So it is important to me that every woman who is listening to me, that you understand that you are worthy right now, today, exactly the way that you are. But value, that's a little bit different. Value grows, value is developed. And this is why your past does not get the final word on your value. You can always learn, you can always grow. You can always strive to get better and better. So once people understand that they can increase their value, sometimes they think, I need to work harder. But maybe what you need to do is just increase your standards. Okay, stay with me. This is so important because the life that you currently are living now is based on the standards that you set. It's based on those things that you have decided were acceptable or that you could tolerate in your life. I'm going to share with you 5 ways to increase your value by increasing your standards. This is what worked for me, so I want to share those with you. The first way is to raise your standards before you raise your expectations. Take some time to intentionally increase your standards before you expect other people to change the way they interact with you. The second thing is to invest in yourself, like you are someone worthy of investing into. And I'm talking about investing your time, your energy, your money, your attention. When I started my whole reinvention journey, I got a therapist. I work with a coach. I got a trainer to work with the physical components of my body. I purchased numerous courses. I just was on a mission to find out what I needed to do to overcome my past and to move forward. I truly believe that we are the author of our own lives, and I am determined to be the main character. So if I have the pen and I'm able to write out my life, believe me, I'm going to have a happy ending, right? The plot is going to play out the way that I wanted to, but I had to invest in myself so that I could become the person who was able to live out a life of victory, a life of abundance and peace and joy. Every investment was a way of me saying that I believe in my future, that I believe that I can be successful. So I'm asking you, are you investing in yourself? Are you envisioning yourself a year from now, 5, 10 years from now? And are you making steps so that you can live the best version of your life? Number 3 is keeping promises to yourself. And this may be the most important one because this is the way that you build self-trust, and self-trust builds confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, then you are building evidence that you are the type of person who is successful. I'm not saying to go out and change your whole life today or tomorrow, but start making small commitments to yourself and building that trust and building that confidence within yourself. I know I said the last one could be the most important, but this is important too. Number 4 is to protect boundaries. One of the biggest reasons that people settle is because they think that it is kindness when they sacrifice for others. They learn that self-sacrifice and people pleasing is the way that you communicate and express your love. But let me tell you, when you can set healthy boundaries in a relationship, that will improve the quality of your relationships. And every time you say no to what drains you, you get to say yes to those things that are the most important to you and to your future. And every boundary that you express and enforce, you're teaching yourself and others that your peace and your joy and your goals, that they are important. And you're not saying that other people's goals and dreams aren't important, but yours are just as important. And you are the only one who can truly protect your own boundaries. Number 5 is to become 1% better every day. Every day you strive to improve some part of your life. These small adjustments will have a way of completely changing your trajectory. It's like the butterfly effect. So if a butterfly flaps its wings over in one part of the world, that can cause a tsunami in another part of the world. And the same in your life. Just making minor changes that in and of themselves are not a big deal, but they can alter the course of your life. It can be something as choosing to drink water with your meal instead of pop, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, reading a book instead of spending 30 minutes just scrolling on your phone. They're not drastic, but done over the course of many days and weeks and years, your life can completely change for the better. And that's how confidence grows. That's how identity changes, one small decision at a time. Okay, I want you to imagine what your life will look like a year from now. I want you to take a moment, if you're not driving, and just close your eyes. I want you to imagine yourself truly operating as a person who understands her worth. So think of yourself as a woman of high value. You wake up, you're not questioning whether you are enough. You're not seeking permission from anyone. Imagine that when you look in the mirror, you see a woman that keeps her promises to herself. You see someone who is growing and evolving and becoming her, the best version of yourself. Imagine that you no longer settle, that you get everything that you deserve, everything that you are worthy of. So here's a challenge that I leave with you on today. For the next 7 days, as you approach different situations, ask yourself a question. Would a person who understands her worth choose this? So before you answer the text message, before you respond in a conversation, before you buy something that you can't afford, when you're thinking about, am I going to go to the gym or am I not going to the gym? Before you stay in a conversation that is draining your spirit, or you say yes to something when your body is on the inside screaming no. Think about, what would this best version of myself, this high value, high worth individual, what would she do? And then make that choice. Today, I can honestly tell you that my life looks different than it did a few years ago. I stopped accepting relationships and circumstances that caused me to abandon myself. I understand my God-given worth. I'm increasing my value. Since this time, I've gone back to school. I earned my doctorate degree. I'm doing something that I absolutely love. I get to help women like you to understand their worth, to increase their value, to maximize their potential. I am writing my next chapter and I am excited about my happy ending. I personally believe that my happily ever after is when I get to live life on my own terms. That's my fairy tale. Your next chapter is waiting to be written and you get to be the author. So friend, I don't know what situations played a part in you settling for less than what you deserve. I don't know what you have survived in your life. I don't know who overlooked you. I don't know who rejected or neglected you. But I do know that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of care. You're worthy of dignity and respect. That you were created on purpose and for a purpose. And that you can continue to increase your value. That you can truly be the best version of yourself. If this message spoke to you, subscribe, because every week we're having honest conversations that will help you to be the best version of yourself. And these videos will help you. This is no is a complete sentence that will help you with establishing boundaries. And this one is you teach people how to treat you. Until next time, God bless.